Hi there! In this video I will cover two options how to connect advanced filtering for your properties or your collections in Divhunt. In this case I created a collection of properties. It's apartments, they have a price, they have a name, bedroom size, categories and so on. And what we want to do is to give a user option when he comes to our website to maybe say I want only apartments that are higher than like 60 square meters and price is less than 200k, let's say. So we want advanced filtering. There's two ways, as I said. One is easy way, which gives you less flexibility, but it is good enough, and you can style the items, inputs, checkboxes, everything the way you want. Just we will pre-create styles for you. And then there's one hard way, which is going to be also explained in this video. It's going to take much longer, but you will fully understand the system and you will be able to create any filtering system you want, any design, anything. But both are good for a specific use case. So first thing, I will show you CMS quickly. So here I have apartments. We have, for example, price. We have a city, region, floor, and so on. And we are going to choose what we want to filter by. So let's go to the builder now. I created this empty filters div. Here our system will push the filters. And how we are going to push the filters? We go to the CMS that is already connected. I don't want to connect it from the scratch in this video, so everything here is already connected. That's covered in previous lessons for CMS. You can find it on our channel. So this is already connected, and now if I scroll all the way down, we have these dynamic filters. So click here, autogenerate. Here it will ask you to select a container. That's the empty div where we are going to push our filters. So I will click select, I will click my div. So now my filters div is going to be parent of my filters. Then we have option to create a search field which searches by multiple options. So let's check that, and let's put search to search by name. It can search by a slug, and it can search by a description and maybe address. So that's our search. Here I can change a filter, so I can change placeholder, so I can say search properties. Then below we have all the CMS fields, and we can create a field. Then below we have all the CMS fields of this collection, and we can create a filter for each CMS field, and we are going to get a suggestion based on field type. So if field type is, for example, relation field, we are going to get multi-select or select. I will show you later. If field type is select, you will obviously let here option for a drop down as a suggestion. If field is a simple input, like for example price, you will get a search. So let's go and see what we want to search for. So I will disable address. I will leave area, and we are going to put here to be a range, and user can choose min and max value of this area. Then we have ceiling height. It is the same system as for area, so I will just disable it so we don't. For the city is multi-relation field, and here we can select to be a multi-select or to be a checkboxes or just a simple drop-down. I will leave it to be multi-select, and I will set to match any. So if user selects 5 cities, if our filters detect any of these 5 cities, it will show that item. If I select match all, property needs to match all 5 cities, which is impossible. It will return always none. So in this case, we won't match any of the cities. So coordinates I will disable. I will disable description because we have a search for that. Then we have a features. So for the features, I will set checkboxes, and I will also set, I will here set match all. So for the features, such as, for example, I want an apartment that has a pool, that has air conditioning, and so on. If I check multiple items, I want to show properties only that have all of them, not only one. That's why here we can use match all. I will disable this floor, everything, images. I don't know, let's see. Parking is a toggle, so I will put user to be option to choose a parking. Number of bedrooms, let's do that one. It can be also a range and min max. Then we have price, euros, then also can be a range. And then I can disable the rest of it. So this is going to generate our search, and is going to generate filter for area, city, features, number of bedrooms, parking, price, and that's it. Now below we have a triggering system. So when filters should apply, we can choose if we want to submit a button. So in the filters you can have a apply filters, or you want this to be applied every time when user changes something. So if user changes the price in input, we trigger filters. Then we have labels. This is to create labels for your inputs. And then we have a clear button. So let's generate filters and you will see what I mean. So now on the right side, you will see the filtering system created for us. So we have a search, we have area, min and max to choose from. Then we have a city, which is a drop-down. Don't worry, in the builder, it will show you open drop-down, but when we visit a live website later, this is actually going to be hidden, and when I click to open drop-down, it will show me this. And then inside of the drop-down, I can check items and filter by that. This is the checkboxes field. This works same way as this multi-select, but I just wanted to show you the way you can here have it as not drop-down. It can be checkboxes directly on a page. Then we have this, and we have a checkbox for the parking, and we have a button clear filters. That's it. That's how we created these filters. Let's go and see if it works. So here I can search for example, park, and it will give me only the items with the park in the name or description. Let's choose something more specific, for example, elegant 2, and it will return me only that. So search works. What I want now is, let's type park here and put to be size, minimum size area, like for example 65, and max 100, for example. And you will see that it is going to return me only area size of 65 to 100, and none of these items go above that. Okay, so that is working. Now let's check a couple of items, and you will see that if I check these features, none of these items fall in this search filtering system. So let's put, for example, furnished and video intercom or security door. Okay, so this is working. For example, this item has furnished and it has a fireplace, which you can see here. Then we have a number of bedrooms. So if I type here, this item has bedrooms only 1. If I type minimum bedrooms 2, it's going to say nothing found. And also a price. So let me enable this. And for a price, we are going to put a price to be minimum 100 to 200K. And it is going to list me only the properties above 200K. So that's how easy it is to set up this advanced filtering system, and it is working with the pagination as well. Also, I didn't check this parking system, but of course, this is just like one checkbox, if it has parking or not. So that is for this simple way to set up filtering. Now in the rest of the video, we will take much more time and we are going to set up everything from scratch. We are not going to use this generate filtering from scratch. We are going to make everything manually, and then we are going to manually connect everything. It will give you a bit more control, but I think it's not worth it losing so much time, honestly, when you can create filtering like this. And now, obviously, you can click any of this. Everything is done with the classes. And now if you don't like something, you can click and edit any way you want. Okay, today we are going to cover how you can create this advanced filtering system for your website, such as this one. So if I click here, for example, it will list me only items following these regions. If I type here, for example, 50 square meters, it will filter me based on that. And we are going to do this everything without code. And as well, we are going to cover the pagination. So you will notice here, I have 2 pages and it is super fast. As well, if I uncheck this now, apply filters, now I have 3 pages and so on. So we are going to cover something like this in this video. In this example, we are basically recreating what we have here on this City Expert website. So here we can filter properties by city, location, type of building, square meter size, and so on. So basically, we are recreating that just in Divhunt. Obviously, we will not recreate this map and so on, but we will focus on this filtering system here and pagination as well. So that's all we need for now. So now you can do that without a code in Divhunt. So let's see how we can do that. Okay, so we are in the Divhunt builder now, and the page we are going to work on is this video page. And the page I just showed you was this home page. And here I have everything connected, and that's what you just saw here. So everything here is connected, but on this page I have same structure, but nothing is connected. I will not be creating this from scratch, but I will explain some simple stuff that I did. For example, this dropdown, I will explain how I did that. This is just a simple input. Also simple input, we have a button here, nothing special. Only I will tell you that these are just basic dropdowns. So here I have a hidden div, and inside of that div we have checkboxes. So this is just a simple dropdown, and inside of dropdown we have checkboxes. It's not that complicated, and as I told you, we have a input here, we have a simple select here, and we have more checkboxes here, and that's it. Pretty basic setup. First, let's see what type of CMS I have. So basically here I have properties, and I have 3 more collections that I'm using as multi-relation and relation fields inside of the properties. So if I open one of these properties, I have a price, I have a relation field to select region, I have a relation field to select a city, then I have address. For the parking we have a toggle button. These are just simple inputs. Here I have a repeater field, but that doesn't matter. And for the features I have a multi-relation field. And for like joinery types and heating type that we will use, I have a simple select field in CMS. So it's nothing big. I was just creating this as a test database. You can have obviously as much as information you want for your CMS, and you can filter by any item, and it's pretty simple. So let's go back to it. So here I already have that connected. So if I go to advanced tab here, you will see that these items are already connecting, and it is limited to 5 items, and it is randomly showing, I mean not randomly, by it is showing 5 items for us. But these filters don't work now. So if I open this page, you will see that nothing actually works. These dropdowns are not there because we didn't connect them yet. If I type price and click here, nothing happening because nothing is connected. So let's start by connecting one by one. So first thing is these regions. So basically these checkboxes need to be pulling from these 6 locations here. So this is basically just a CMS that we are going to call. So let's click on this checkbox here. Let's set that to be a source regions, and we can just save, and that's it. We can actually type a key here. I like to stay organized, and let's use the key region for this one. And let's save now. Here, click on this label. In the settings for the content, we are going to set region name to be showing here. And when I click on this input, which is going to be our checkbox, we need to add value. And value, when working with multi-relation and relation fields in our CMS, we need to use ID as a value. So basically you just click here, value, region, ID, and that's your value. And for the name, we are going just to set name region. Important thing is name, this name will be used later in our URL, and it's very important for every input, select, or checkbox to have a specific and a unique name. Okay, so this is connecting now, and we can connect it actually to our CMS, so it works. So let's go to advanced tab now. Let's go here. You will find these dynamic filters. Let's click add new filter. Since we are working here with checkboxes, we are going to select checkboxes, and here we want to select which CMS field are we filtering by. So in this case, we are filtering by region. So let's find it. And now when something is checked, we want to show items matching any selected. So if user checks, let me refresh. So if user checks, for example, Ticino and Zurich area, I want to show him all the properties that contain one or the other, not both. They can't contain both. If I was working with some other checkboxes where I need to contain both of them, I would select here show items matching all selected. We are going to use this later in these features that we are going to have here. Okay, so for now, here we want just any selected. When none is checked, we just show all the items, basically ignoring that filter at all. So here, if your checkboxes have a custom class, you can just type here custom class of your this specific checkbox. But in my case, I can just click here select target, and then I will see this nice pointer, and then I click any of these checkboxes, and this is now connected. I can click save. I can go now to the live website. And now if I click any of this, for example, Ticino, it will show me only items. You will see here the name of the region, Ticino. If I click here, Central Switzerland, it will show me that one. The lake, here it goes, a space, and so on. So this is now fully working. And even if I refresh this page, these 4 elements that I already checked previously are being pre-selected now. So basically, these data filters are being saved in URL, which is a very great for sharing links, saving for later, and similar. Okay, so let's close this one. Simply just let's display none. Now let's do the same with the city. For the city, we do exactly the same thing. Nothing is different except the collection we are using. So let's select this checkbox, go to Advanced tab. Let's call cities here. That's good. For the label, okay, let me name this, for example, city. It will be cleaner. Okay, save. Click label. I will connect city name here. For the checkbox, we want value to be city ID. And for the name, I want this to be city. And that's all I need to do for this one. And this is already ready now to be connected. So let's go to Advanced tab again. Let's create a dynamic filter again. Checkboxes multiple. We select now city and select a target. These checkboxes, save, and that's it. Now I can hide this one as well. So let's go set display none. And now if I refresh, we have regions and we have cities. So now if I check cities, it is instantly filtering this by city plus the region. Okay, you will notice here now apply filters button. Sometimes I don't want to instantly update these items and so on. Maybe I want user first to fill everything, then he clicks apply filters, and then only then we call the API and refresh the page. I mean, we are not refreshing the page, just updating the items on a page. Okay, so how we can do that? Let's go to here, property item. Let's go to advanced tab, and here you will see this dynamic filters trigger. Currently trigger is on change. We can set this to be on button click. And for this button, you can set a custom class of your button. For example, button apply. But if you don't have a class for that one, you can just click here, select a button, and click on your button, and everything is working now. Let's go save, refresh now, and you will notice now if I change this, nothing happens until I click apply filters. Okay, so let's continue. Now we have this price. So here I want, if I type 100K, I want to show only prices coming from 100K plus more. And here I want a less and that. So that's pretty simple to do. First thing that we need to do, and the only thing that we need to do with this input is to set a name. For this, I can put start price name. And for this one, I can put end price name. And while we are there, since size is pretty much exactly the same, just a different field, we'll do that as well. So let's here put a name start size, and let's for this one use start end size actually. Okay, so now we are ready to connect all these 4 fields. Let's go to advanced tab. Let's go add new dynamic filter. Here we need number input. We are going to filter by size, by price, sorry. For the operator, we are going to use numeric operator, which is greater equal than, because we want if user types 100K, we want to include 100K plus more into this input here. So let's select the target. So that's selected. Let's create another number input also for a price. But now operator is less equal than, and we use this input now. Okay, let's do exact same thing for the size. So let's use number input. Let's find size, that's this area square meters. Greater equal than, and we select this target. Then we go again number input, area less equal than this. Okay, so let's save and let's see if that actually works. So now if I type here, for example, 200k, I should be getting only 3 properties since this one should be ditched. Okay, so we'll see that is working, and if I type up to 500k, this one will not be there. So yeah, that is working, and now I can type square meters from 50, and we are only left with this one. I can remove now prices. Okay, only one property for that. All these one are small ones, so let's remove these filters so we can get more properties. Just to test a bit this a bit more, so I can type here 40 to 140, or you will see that everything is working. So now I can type price to be from 200k. So yeah, everything is perfectly working fine now. And now we need to connect this other filters field I have. So I will just set it to be visible now. This is just like a toggle button. In my CMS, if I go inside of CMS, let me go quickly. Parking is basically, let me find it, it is just this toggle button. That means it has only two values. Is it true or false? Basically, if it has parking or no. There's no third values. So that's why we are going to use only one checkbox. There's no need to set, for example, parking yes or no. We just need one checkbox. If you check it, you want parking. If you don't check it, you are fine with both parking or no parking. Okay. So let's click on this checkbox. Let's go to the settings, and like what we did previously, let's name it. So name just a simple parking. Value, we don't need a value now because we are working with a single checkbox. Here we already named it, and this is ready to be connected. So let's go back to our CMS connection. Let's add new filter. Here we are going to select this toggle checkbox. For the field, we want to select parking. And when item is checked, we want to show only items with the parking enabled. And when item is not checked, we want to show all items, no matter if parking is checked or not checked. If I put apply opposite here, if parking is unchecked, it will hide properties with the parking. So in our case, if user didn't check parking, we don't care about it. We show him the properties with the parking and without the parking. So let's select the target. Click here, select the target. That's done. Now, I created this in my CMS. This is basically a select field, but I created it as a checkboxes, but also can be a select. I will create in this video select a bit later. For now, let's connect these 3 items. So this is just a simple checkboxes loop. And let's go to the CMS. Let's go to the properties, and you will find here heating type. Sorry, that's not heating type, that was furnishing, so it's this one. So if I open, we have 3 values. So I'll be using these 3 values in my checkboxes. So I need to copy exactly like it is here. It needs to be like that in our builder. So I already pre-populated that, so we don't need to copy that now. I will just show you how it works. So here, let me uncheck this one. So here you will, if I go to the settings, this input, first one, has like value furnished. This one has semi-furnished coming from our CMS, and this one has not furnished, but name is same for everyone. So if I click, if you notice, this name needs to be the same for everything, because this name basically, based on this name, we know that these checkboxes here are working together. So they are one checkbox basically working. I mean, there are 3 checkboxes working as one group, let's say. So yeah, that's all you need to do, is to set this value to furnished, and that's it. And let's go connect it now, like we did it previously. Let's go to our CMS connection. Find here checkboxes multiple. We are going to filter by furnishing, and we are going to leave this as default. And for the target, we want to select this one. Okay, so that's good. Let's just check if this is working. So if I click furnished here and apply, it is working. So there's no items furnished. And if I check these two, I should be getting two properties. Okay. And for the parking, I think all the properties have a parking, so it will not make a difference if I click here. So yeah, parking doesn't make a difference, but you need to trust me that it's working. Okay, so let's go to the features. Features are exactly the same like we did for the cities. So let's go to the checkboxes here. Let's connect features. We want here to show all the features, so let's set a limit a bit higher. We can name this feature and let's save. Now for the feature, we need here to put a name. That's it. And for the value, we need to put an ID of this feature. And here the name needs to be feature. Okay, so this is connected now. And let's connect it to database. Property. Here, let's create a new dynamic filter. Let's select the checkboxes, again, multiple. We want features. But now when items are checked, we want to match all the selected items. What that means? Let me show you. This means if I select, for example, high speed and internet and air conditioning, I want both of them to be included. Not only one of them, I want both of them. Difference when I'm choosing the city, if I select three cities, I want to match one city, not all of them, because it's not possible to match all the cities. So it's fine to match only one, and that property will be shown. But here, if I select two items, I want that property to have both of them, not only one of them. So that's the difference here. So we want this show items matching all selected. And for the target, let's select, okay, I already previously selected it. Okay, save. Now let's see if that is working. I can hide this one. Let's hide it. And let's click here high speed internet and air conditioning, apply filters, and only this one. You will notice here in the features it says air conditioning, and we need to find like high speed internet, the last one here. So this property has everything. If I remove other filters, we have more items that have air conditioning and high speed internet and so on. If I type more items here, because we need to match all of them, it probably, okay, this item has everything, but if I add more, there's no items that have all of these features. Okay, so while I'm here, where you see a blank screen, I will show you how you can create empty state. Let's go to the builder. Here we have properties grid. Let me close all of this. So here we have a properties grid. That's this one. We are going to create a div called empty state. And let's create something nice. For example, actually not something nice. Let's just type there's nothing found matching search criteria. And let's style it a bit. It's a bit of padding, maybe display flex. Let's center it and let's put maybe some background color. Okay, and let's maybe a bit of margin. So this is going to be our empty state. So what we are going to do, we'll add a class here. I can just call it empty state. And we are going to set display none. So by default, this is not showing. And how we are going to force it to show is basically by playing with this div, which is holding all of our properties items. So idea is when, let me show you. So if I select more items, now this div is basically empty. It is not showing any of these items. And this means this div is empty. And now we can tell with CSS if this div is empty, show this one, which is a sibling div. Okay, so how we are going to do that is with a bit of custom CSS. It's very simple. Let's go here, edit custom CSS, and we are going to type empty plus this class we created. So this is the class of this div below. And we are going just to set display block. And let's save. And if I refresh, you will see there's nothing found matching the search criteria. And now if I unselect this and apply filters, that div is going to disappear. That's how easy it is to create empty state. And now let's create one select field. So we are going to go to our collection. And let's say I want to do heating type with the select field. So I want to create a select field that has all these same values. I will just copy this in my notepad so we have it here. So remember, what you type here in our CMS, we need these exact values when we are creating our select in the builder. So let's go back to the builder. Okay, finish editing that. Okay, now we are going to create a select field after these other filters. So let's minimize all of this. So after this one, so this is our button, I can create a new div. I will put it here after other filters. And inside of that div, I will call this heating type. And inside of that div, we need to add a select field. So I can find it here in the form. Let's put a select. So this is just a simple select inside of our div heating type. And we are going to use this select as our filter for the heating. Okay, so first thing that we need to do, by default, we have this placeholder. And I want here to type any. But I will, before this select, I will just add one label. Let me find it here. Okay, here it is. And I will just name it heating. Let me style this a bit better. Okay, and I want this center. Okay, so this is good now. For the default value, placeholder, here, I mean, you can call it anything. Like, for example, I can call any, but by default, it is called placeholder in Divhunt. And it's important to set here any as the content. I mean, not what you say in content is not important, but in the value you set any. So if user selects that, basically we show like everything is checked, or basically ignoring that filter, if you get my point. But now let's go to these options. So if I go to the option, we have option 1 and value. Now comes this one. So we need these six options, exactly like named in our CMS, we name them here. So here I just copy paste here. Let's go to the second value. Let's go to electric. Let's go to the third value. We are going to do heat pump. So let's do that one. For the fourth, we don't have fourth, so let's loop this 3 more times. Let's go now to the fourth. Let's find it here, gas. So this is gas. Then we have fifth, floor heating. And then we have sixth, which is going to be other. Okay, so this is our select now. And if I open it on live website, you will see these options. You will see these options that we just added. So now it's very simple to connect a dynamic filter after this is done. So all I need to do is go back to the dynamic filter properties here. Let's create dynamic filter. We want this to be a select dropdown. We want CMS field to be heating type. And we want to operator to be equals because we are working with one property. So basically what that means, if I click here and if I select central, I want only if heating type is equal central. It's that simple. So I click here equals and then I select deselect. So now, let's go now and let's click here electric. I guess both of these fields are electric. So if I select heat pump, nothing is found. So let me remove some of these filterings. So we have more properties. So you'll notice that now if I go to the central, we have two properties with the central heating and electric. Now this can be a multi-select. It doesn't need to be only one value. We can create it as a multi-select. So how you can do that? Let's click on our select. Let's go to the settings and let's check this one item here. It says here multiple, but this is a bit bugged right now. This needs to be a new line, but this is basically checking if this select is multi-select or not. So I'll just set the height 150. And by default, multi-selects are very, very ugly in in the browser. So you'll notice here, if I go click central, holding control, I can select 4 more. It will show me all the properties. Actually, let's uncheck. Okay, sorry, this is not working right now because we didn't change how this works. We are still having the filter applied to a single select. So let's go back to this filtering and let's click this one. And for the heating type now, we need to select here multi-select, and we want here operator to be inside. I mean in. When we select that, when we are working with multi-select, we are checking for the multiple values, not only one, and we do it like this. So let's save that one and let's go check if this is now working. So I can select these two, and it is going to show me all the properties that contain either heat pump or gas. If I add electric as well, it will show me one of these three. And that's how you can create these selects and how you can style them. We have a plugin. So if you go to the settings here, browse plugins, we have a pretty forms plugin here, which you can install. And now I can go here for the heating type, apply, transform, set pretty forms, and by the default, it will get nice styles, but you can change styling here of this multi-select. And I will show you now how this looks. I can click here heating, and now I can click central electric. It says here for us 4 selected items, and now this is working as well. I can set on this one, I think, minimum width or something like that, but I will not go into details of styling this. Focusing on making this work. Okay, so I will uncheck that transform from here. And now, last thing that we need to do is to create a pagination. So how we can do that? So here under the properties, I mean inside of the properties, here we have properties grid, we have empty state, and then we need one more div, which is going to be a pagination. I will put it actually above the empty state. Let's call it a pagination. For example, we can set height to be 50 pixels, margin top. I don't know, I can do a bit of padding and some background. And this is going to be actually our container for pagination. And how we are going to add a pagination inside of it, we can go here again into advanced tab. We are going to click enable pagination. We will set items per page 5 are fine. For the style, we can use just numbers for now. This is show results info. Let's enable that for now. And here we need to set our container class, or we can also click select container and select it. So now all I need is to save. If I go now to this page, you will see that we have a pagination. I'm just not sure why it is not inside of this container. Okay, it's not inside of the container because our pagination has some margin and we set up a fixed height to this div. So I will just reset that height, and if I refresh, it is going to be inside, but we can fix the margin, padding, and so on with the custom CSS. Okay, so that's our pagination. So now I can click here, and if I change something, for example, let's do it like this. When working with multi-select, you actually don't need this any filter, but okay, let's apply. You will see that now I have only 2 pages. If I add more, still 2 pages. If I add all of them, we have 3 pages. And here it says showing 1 to 5 out of 12. So here it says 6 to 10. What is that? That's basically, if I go back to the settings, that's this show result info. So if I uncheck that, we are not going to see that field anymore, and our pagination will be there. You can change the position of this pagination by simply using this pagination div, set it to display flex, and set it to be this one to, for example, center, and pagination should be on center. If you use end, obviously it is going to be on the end. So that's how you can choose the position of your numbers. And let's check one more thing, and that's this style to be, for example, simple, previous, and next buttons. Okay, let's cancel that one. Let's save. And now we don't have numbers, we have just simple buttons, previous and next. That's our pagination right now. And obviously you can set to have both. So if I select to have both, I will have both like previous buttons and the numbers. And that's pretty much it. That's how you create this advanced filtering with pagination and everything. You can create as many filters as you want. So yeah, I am looking forward to see what you create, how powerful and big websites you do it. If someone creates something as big as this one, I would love to see it.